Binge watch. Bill Burr, welcome to Good Day New York.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Well, the show is so funny. I mean, I'm just, is it based on your real life, or is it, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely based on my life, but it's, Frank is the character that I play. He's an amalgam of kind of everybody's dad in the writer's room, and he's an old school dad. Like when I was a kid, you were like afraid of your dad. Like he pulled in the driveway, he'd come in the front door, we'd all run out the back door.
Right, wait till your father comes home,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's more of that era. It's not this, you know, era now where your kids are like friends with their dad. I was like afraid of my dad. Not in a bad way. Like I just knew that, you know, when he came home that
things were gonna fly.
Yes, your behavior. We used to shut the TV off and like pick up books, pretending to be like reading. And I remember he used to like, you know, if he was in church, he had like the loudest snap. And if you guys were talking too loud, he just bam like that, and everybody just shut up, and then you knew you were going to get it later.
You mean get it? You know, it's fun. You get on stage, you talk about topics that are kind of taboo, but you make them really, really funny.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or
yes, and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think I want to.
You know what I'm talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
I
came on. That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
So F is for family. I mean, it's really politically incorrect before politically incorrect was even a term.
Yeah, and I think, you know, a lot of that stuff. What you were saying earlier, you talk about taboo subjects. It's like, nothing I really talk about. It's not that people aren't talking about all of this stuff. It's just that there's sort of a way that people talk when they get on a stage or something like that. But it's not like, you know, people they laugh because they're already talking about it, so it's not that big a deal.
We all have dark thoughts sometimes, but you go there in public and you do it, even though it's edgy, kind of make it safe in a way.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen? I'm just talking. I mean, it's not like I'm not doing anything insane. I will tell you, though, I did stand up here 2 shows last night, and I cannot believe New York crowds now.
Why?
It is so like, oh.
They were doing that during
the show?
I moved here.
I remember when I moved here in '94, it was, you remember Alphabet City, you were taking your life in your hands, and there was like junkies and stuff like that, so it was just really like a lot harder than to like even like impress people. And now, I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You know what, they don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification, whatever.
Was that offensive to illiterate people?
Anyway,
this town has changed.
F is for family. Obviously, Netflix and the people who watch it love your show. Were we able to find a clip that we could clean up?
No, we got something. We got something.
Found something. Wow.
Might be a couple of beeps. Check it out.
Is this just the intro song?
Oh, not hamburger assistant again. Why can't Mom make dinner?
Ask her. She's the one who abandoned her post. Now after doing all the lady work, I gotta leave to go do some man work. And is anybody gonna get me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful? No. No one's out there marching for old Frank Murphy. He just watches the sands of his miserable life gather at his feet while his wife, the modern woman, throws on a pantsuit every morning and just... There's my worker bee.
This guy really speaks to me. Good stuff, Phil.
It's a little Archie Bunkerish, a little, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, it is that time. And when we did, like, the 70s, we wanted it to look like how I remember the 70s, where Hollywood kind of always makes it look like everybody had a lava lamp and dressed like Ron Burgundy. This is more like the sort of Rust Belt Serpico 70s. Like, you know, anytime you see a movie about, like, the 70s, everybody has a car from the 70s. It was like, there was, you know, people didn't have money. They'd have a car from the 60s. So if you look, there's a lot of That's one of my favorite things to like pick out what car they're gonna have. Like Frank drives like an old like Ford Galaxy-esque type car before Ford comes at us for money.
You're right. The movies from the 70s, they overdo it. They all overdo it when they're going retro, right?
Well, they make it seem like when the Pacer came out, like everybody thought that was a good-looking car. It was a weird car.
With the big window?
Yeah, me and my mother looked at it. That is the ugliest piece of you-know-what I've ever seen in my life. But they made it seem like everybody in the 70s had like a lava lamp and thought that was a good-looking car.
So, Bill, do you Google yourself? Because I was like Googling the show.
No, God knows.
I was Googling the show.
I get trashed enough on Twitter. Do you know when I did the show last night? This is how like the millennials are, right? Somebody, I was wearing this exact same thing. You know, I'm on the road, so I got a nice stain on my shirt. So I was wearing this exact same thing. I go on Twitter, and somebody wrote, you know, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So, like, yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So-and-so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
But why would you even respond on
Everybody is
Twitter?
sassy online, not in your face.
Sassy.
Why?
Exactly. This is New York. Back in the day, I would walk on stage. Someone would have said that, and I would have had to fight my way out of it, and it would have been a tough set. And this person's just, everything's like so covert now.
I feel bad because, by the way, you're ripped.
Huh?
You're in pretty good shape.
But why respond to somebody who's being negative to you on Twitter?
Because it's fun. I like going back and forth, and then you can usually. Well, this is my deal. If you actually have a picture of yourself, then I'll go back and forth. But if you just have like the little egg thing there, like those, you know, 2 followers, then those people, it's like you just came up with an account or whatever, or you just go around trash people. To me, that's like a cowardly thing. But like, you know, if I can see you, you know, and you're out of shape, or maybe you're ugly or something like that, I'll go right for it. I'll get real childish.
Growing up, by the way, with the mother with the hairbrush and the dad, where was that? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up outside Boston, Massachusetts. The safe suburbs of Boston, Massachusetts. Because ever since Good Will Hunting, everybody thinks, you know, you grew up in Southie and you stole cars and you asked people about apples.
They overdid it too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your Christian background.
No, nobody overdid Southie back then. Like, I'm just saying I was not that, you know. I was more of a, you know, cul-de-sac street hockey playing kid.
Bill Burr.
F
like
is
the
for
moon.
family.
There you go.
F is for family on Netflix, out right now.
He'd be a little more comfortable if he threw some trash around the studio, right? He misses the old New York, and you're not the only one.
I want to meet those religious people that got upset. I want to quiz them on their religion.
All right, we'll talk about, why did I bring that up? Bill,
why did you bring it up?
I'm
It's
sorry.
a morning show. This is supposed to be an easy one.
You know what happens? 9 o'clock, it all becomes daytime, so you got more license. Bill Burr, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm trying to get in shape, man. I hate going to the gym, so I decided I'd go veggie twice a week. Brutal. I can only make it till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, that's what I realized about myself. Something has to die every day in order for me to live. Something's got to get its beak chopped off, its feathers yanked, uppercut to its jaw, just in order for me to survive. I'm trying. I saw this thing, though, that they said if everybody went vegan. If everybody went vegan, though, it would be vegetarian, whatever the hell they said. One of those V ones, right? And they said it would be great for the environment. You know, because I guess there's all this cattle standing around, and when they fart, the gas goes up in the atmosphere and causes something. You know, if everybody went vegan, the air would be, if everybody drove an electric car, if everybody just had some snowshoes on. Nobody has the balls to come out and say it and just say, look, 85% of you have to go. You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, someday there's going to be the first woman president, which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male first lady. And you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're all going to be, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady. I don't mind that people use roids. I think they should use roids because they're using themselves as guinea pigs, and it'll all trickle down to us one day. And after they messed up, you know, their heads get all big. I'm saying by the time we're 80, they're gonna have like a steroid vaporizer that you can just inhale, and you're gonna have abs. I'll get a full head of hair, and you're gonna be banging some hot 65-year-old. And it's all gonna be because of these athletes and the sacrifices that they make that no one appreciates. Those guys in the 70s, the stuff they took in the 70s.
Oh, in the 70s, the steroids were crazy.
It was like horse tranquilizers. You came out with like a mane, just slapping children around.
They didn't have a mane. No one had a mane.
Some people would argue that.
So it's good for the sport.
I love it.
Like, I dated this girl one time. She was like really into like women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too, why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault?
Surprised feminists haven't had a problem with the French language yet.
It's like, what's this gender? There's no such thing
why
as gender.
is la maison? Why is the house feminine? Is he saying that women are supposed to fucking stay home and fucking cook for you?
And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up, holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest of it.
Have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that is. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? It's not down, it's in here. They try to take it. It's in here. You do something good, you feel good. You do something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath and ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. So let's talk white women here, shall we? Let's talk white women. White women, you're amazing. Amazing your accomplishments over the last few years. I gotta tell you, the way white women somehow hijacked the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys, the nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't. But let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to. Thank you.
It's worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy. What makes you feel old about watching TV?
Music, there's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, they run out of the room like they just saw a witch. And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy.
What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so, you know.
Here he's go. Conan's going for it.
I would say 13% of people on the internet are cool. The rest of them, they're just a bunch of animals. Why would you want to talk to them?
Wait, you're saying only 13% of people are
cool. 13% are cool. The other 87% are writing horrific stuff under YouTube videos. They're assholes.
Yeah.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from
We went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
You're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. The people go on Ancestry.com. Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? I was making fun of the military, which you can't do now. Like, we totally went from Vietnam, all the hippies being like, hey, man, you're like a baby killer, man, to like now you got to give like a standing ovation when they walk over to Delta. You know what I mean? Show that you're not in ISIS. Like, I don't know what you have to be doing. Like, thank you. It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did you really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so
I was
mad?
just saying, like, yeah, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, like, points in the direction that the plane takes off in...
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to, like, thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Now they're going after like 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the whores? Right?
What?
Why are you looking at me like you don't know what whores are?
Divorce. Oh, divorce. I thought you said the horse.
No, I said whores.
Jesus.
You're both wrong. I said whores.
Oh, whores. Whores. Wait a minute. Andy and I, this has never happened before where you and I both misunderstand.
Yeah. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, like at a ridiculous level. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. And then it's just like, that's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with like a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves. And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still, they won't let you...
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at him groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball, and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose. Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman in an undersexed marriage after a couple of drinks. I'm telling you, cover your junk, because she's coming full court press.
You're having a full-on breakdown.
I am not. You're just not listening.
I am listening to every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got... And then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you... You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are you getting into the holiday spirit? We're getting close. Christmas coming up. Get excited? Come on.
Yes, I am. I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. It just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled. You know?
Yeah. You don't like
why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why wouldn't you just admit that you can't afford it at regular prices? Come back the next day. Come back the next day like a gentleman. And just walk in there, pick out what you want, and if your kids get less, they get less. That gives them drive. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So yeah, you don't get trampled, grabbing your wig, you know, suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above-ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like make it like a high-end store. Like you're going to, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
They got trampled.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're gonna go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down, and then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out a knee? It's the saddest thing. It's one year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, you should just like float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. Like, no matter how many hot air balloons he had.
No, it's a bad idea. You don't want billionaires in hot air balloons dropping toasters on people. That's a stupid idea.
You have like a little parachute. All right, gift certificates.
Wait. 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
yeah, he
man,
does.
I should have stayed in that bitch. I had a pair of 6.
I had a pair of 7s.
These bastards.
You want
2,
white
4,
vodka?
7. Yes,
What do you want? What do you want?
Vodka.
Oh, I got a deal though, right?
Yeah. Oh, you got a deal.
Wait, can I deal for him if he makes me a drink?
What do you want?
You want?
Send this deck
I want a whiskey.
Hey, Morgan, you want Red Bush? Swear to God, that's the name of it.
Is that what it is?
Swear to God.
Yeah,
all right.
You wanted vodka?
Yes, please.
You know, I was reading a little bit about you, and it says that you have a tendency to kind of go with your first thought.
Yeah.
Because reading makes you sleepy.
That's right. And my first thought is this is the best week to be here, the week before the Super Bowl.
That is so true.
Before all the whores fly in, you know?
Yeah. But
just want to get out.
Wow.
Just want to get out of here before that. What is true? This is like the Oscars for prostitutes.
Okay, all right.
This entire week.
Let's remember we're G-rated here, folks. All right, so we're going to go back to a safer subject because, as you know,
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
this is National Blueberry Pancake Day.
By the way, I was in the doctor's office this morning. I'm fine, but just FYI, little medical note. I had black poo.
Black or bloody?
Well,
black is bloody.
Unless
you ingest bismuth, which is in Pepto-Bismol, then you're
over the weekend I had black poo
or iron.
Yeah, and
wait a minute.
yeah.
So if somebody said I had blood in my stool, they don't actually see blood; they see it's black.
Right. So the higher up in your GI, the blacker it is.
What sort of background do you have?
I was a nurse.
Oh, okay. So wow. Because you really came off like I was like. No, this happens a lot on podcasts. All of a sudden, I'm listening to a comedian like telling me how my liver works. I'm just like, wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right.
Yeah.
Tell them about.
So the higher up on your GI that the bleeding happens, let's say it's if in your stomach.
Don't talk shop. What's GI? Gastrointestinal. Okay.
Yeah. The higher up there.
A pilot.
Just kind of went in that direction.
But you actually grew up outside of Boston, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Linfield when I was really little, and then from about 1976 on, I lived in Canton, Mass.
Ah, very nice. I'm also from Massachusetts.
Oh, all right.
Not that you care, but I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I mean,
that...
we're not going to hang out or anything.
Yeah, I know. There's absolutely no shot of that. That much I know.
Tak.
Varsågod.
Here the goo. Here the do?
What do you say?
Heard the do.
Heard to do.
Heard to do. Is that how they say how are you?
Of course.
Brah. That's all I got.
Welcome to Sweden.
Well, thank you.
You have been here before, right?
Yes, I have. I came here
in August of 2009. My first time ever coming to Sweden. And I got to tell you, I got to go with Hitler on this one. You guys are some good-looking sons of bitches. Yes.
Can you see him?
Yeah, that's the. That's one of the founding fathers who said that all men are created equal as long as they're white. Right? Isn't that what it is? One of those guys?
No, it's not. It's
Wasn't
the
he on
Quaker Oats man.
I thought
all
that
right?
was the
And we have, I think,
bicentennial Fruit Loops guy.
no, it's not. But speaking of that, let's see. Do we have another one, or is that it?
Oh, that is Johnny Mathis. It looks like the cover of that Christmas album he had. No?
Sorry.
It's like, where were all those racists the last two elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine with that. But this white woman is going to take my jet skis, right? I love this dude texting for the entire interview. It's just trying to keep the attentions on millennials. It's like impossible. Look at him. He's already got the chains. He's probably got his own record label. He's like making deals as we speak. He's got championship rings on. I don't know what you're doing, dude, but I want your life, man. You're crushing it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions.
You know, that's you. That's the dark side of you, that you didn't want to say something nice. I get it. But me, I'm sort of the Jimmy Fallon.
This is your inner child, and your mother didn't hug you, and now you're putting it on me. Because I didn't give you a compliment at the right thing?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go first in the compliment game. So what are you saying? I always have to go first? That's kind of egotistical.
It's nice if you go first for a change.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I said nice things last time about you. You could have said that last time you were here when you were hungover. F is for family this Friday.
Laura Dern, Sam Rockwell, Justin Long.
Look at you.
David Koechner.
Look at you.
That's right. That's
Look
right.
at
Got
you.
some big names.
Heavy hitters.
Heavy hitters. Swinging the pipe.
Bill Burr doing big boy things.
Look at him.
Look
all
at
dressed
you.
up doing the town.
Look at you. We'll take a break here. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Dan. You know what? I love your glasses.
Thank you, Bill.
See, that was first. Now you're supposed to say something about my jacket. It's from the Han Solo collection.
But you have to, we always fight. We fight often.
No, because I go on stage and then you try to correct my jokes.
I don't try to correct
yeah, you
your
do.
jokes
You're like,
sometimes.
well, what if you said if the woman did this because of this? And
That was one time, and I admit I was being aggressive.
Micro.
It was a microaggression.
Microaggressive, yeah.
Sometimes I read interviews with you, and you talk about everything you hate, and if you added it all up, you would get me. But somehow we love each other. Am I correct in saying that? I think that you love me. Because every time we fight, as I'm driving home, I get a text from you that says, you know I love you, right? And I go, yeah, I love you too.
That isn't me. I've never said, you know,
Are you fucking serious?
Well, my memory isn't good, but I don't remember doing that.
I'll show you.
What, you save
I
them?
can't believe you're... No, text just exists. Yeah, I press save on my text. What kind of phone do you have?
No, I like delete them after a while. What are you saving it for?
You delete texts?
Yeah.
Oh, I never do because all our friends die and then it's all you have left.
How many have you had?
Die?
I'm up. I counted.
I have a huge list.
I'm 30. 30.
Yeah.
Get something funny out of that.
That's what you do. I'm not.
This phone, I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Oh, yeah, and there's a drop-off in fame for Jesus at that point. Everyone was paying attention. Now no one gives a shit. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online. And he also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah,
somehow
by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
Seriously?
Yeah, no, dude. There's fucking lunatics out there.
Okay. Whoa.
Off the air, I'll tell you.
All right.
Jeez. I love how surprised he is. Jeez.
Well, you can mention the amount.
There's absolutely crazy people out there.
Okay, yeah. No. Whew. All right. I don't know why that got so flat on my part.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or at
Yes,
least
and
2
I wanted to
episodes.
talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far. You know.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel
that's
you were
probably
being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following.
It's nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh, yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A. It's going to be with the R. And he hit the R. He, like, stuck the landing. There was, like, a dismount. Klan members high-fiving in the background, like, doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for, like, this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of, like, a potential ass-kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. You don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! Actually, I got a couple of friends of African persuasion, and I got to get rid of them, man. I got to admit to you. I'm finding I'm spending too much money on clothes hanging out with them, because I got to, like, fucking try to keep up with their wardrobe. It's like every time they go out, they got all brand new shit on. All brand new shit. So when I show up with my white version of brand new, which is, you know, I ironed the shit, right? I ironed it, right? It's new. They just start trashing me. I can't keep up with them, man. They got like fucking 58 pairs of sneakers. Ever notice that shit? Like every color fucking Timberland. And I don't give a shit what fucked up color their shirt is. They got a pair of shoes to match it and a hat. I'll tell you, it's actually funny. You know what? That's actually how I judge black guys now. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from, like, the suburbs, you know what I mean? Had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was, like, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos. Look, he's got a nice car, he's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of living in the city, this is how I narrow it down. Whether a black dude scares me or not. Black dudes with dirty sneakers scare the fucking shit out of me. No. I figured out in my head, because I know from hanging out with them, that's the last shit that they're gonna let go. The immediate shit that they have on. So I think, if his sneakers are fucked up, that means his life is fucked up. Every time he leaves his building, the whole neighborhood, oh, shit! Everyone starts making fun of him. He's on the train in a bad mood. I kind of have this howdy-doody, kind of mug me kind of face. I'm not saying something's gonna happen. I'm just saying, I'm paying attention. I'm not judging you. Not judging anybody. I didn't know anything about lotion. Never used it the first 33 years of my life. Never used it. Till one night I was going out with this black girl, right? She was getting ready and she was just putting that shit on everywhere. Just slathering it on. I thought she had like a rash or something. I'm like, what do we got, like poison ivy? What's going on with you? She goes, no, I'm just making sure I'm not ashy. I said, ashy? She goes, dry skin. I went, wow. I guess I freaked her out a little bit because I was like, wow. She's like, well, white people get ashy too. I was like, yeah, I don't think we do. Yeah, I've been alive for 33 years. No one has ever said, hey, Bill, you're looking a little ashy. I never even heard that word until you said it. She's like, you're an idiot. Stick out your arm. So I stick out my arm, and ever so gently, she just drags her nails down. This smoke starts coming up. There's like pastry flakes flying off, track marks. She's signing her name. She's like, you see that? She goes, that's ashy. You're ashy? Freak me out. I'm like, holy shit, I'm ashy. I didn't know anything about it. All I knew was that I always got itchy in the winter. Couldn't figure it out. Always got itchy in the winter. What the fuck do I get itchy? I thought it meant the bath towel was dirty. That's what I thought. And I would change it out and put a fresh one. Now I'm going to be okay. Take a shower, dry off, fucking itching again. God damn it, I hate the winter. See that? That's why you got to hang out with everybody. Yeah. There's too much information in the world, and every group of people misses a little bit. White people totally missed the lotion seminar at some point in history. I don't know if it's because we can't see it. Black people get ashy. It looks like they leaned up against a chalkboard or something. They can see it. They miss it. Their friends help them out. Like, look at your ashy motherfucking elbow. What is wrong with you? Right? We miss that shit the way black people miss the whole register your weapons summit. Right? Just never got the information. The amount of rappers who've been busted for the unregistered Glock in the car just blows my mind. It's like, why would you do that to yourself? Do you just want to make an album over the phone? Is that what it is? Is that like the new auto-tune or some shit? I don't know. No, it breaks my heart every time I see it. I just think, God, if he just had one white friend. If he just had one white friend in his entourage, dude would have been sitting there going like, is that thing registered? You out of your mind? Dude, get it out of there. Get it out of there. Yeah, it's illegal. That's like fucking 3 to 5 mandatory. Dude, how do you not know that? That's the question. How do you not fucking know that? This guy's got unregistered. Okay, don't believe in these myths. Black don't crack. It's bullshit. They all put lotion on like every 20 minutes during the day. It's ridiculous. They all got a giant oil drum of the shit at home. Every morning they wake up, they dunk themselves in it, shake themselves off, and walk out the door absolutely glistening. Glistening! All right? So I sit down, and I'm watching this documentary as a white dude, which is what I am. I'm looking out my white head, watching this white shit. It's coming back into my white eyes, getting whiter by the fucking second. All right? Now, my wife, on the other hand, she's black, right? Now, I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I'm going to start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes? And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? The black guy's always like, you need to loosen up. You gotta relax, man. You just gotta let it happen. All right? It's always the same stupid fucking joke. I hate those jokes, you know, because they're easy. And it's been my experience that it's just not true. You know, 15 years of being with her, there's really no difference. You know, because at the end of the day, it's a woman. All right?
It's gonna be the same fights. I don't give a fuck who you're with. I'm not gonna lie to you. There might be more head movement and hand gestures with different races of women. Possibly an index finger jabbing at your forehead, whatever the fuck that is. But at the end of the day, it's the same fights. What's going on with us? You need to work on this. Why don't we communicate better, right? So she starts watching this shit as a black person, right? And she's seeing all the racism, obviously, that I'm seeing. But she was catching all this subtle shit that I was too white to see. But I knew I was missing it, because I just kept hearing her huffing and puffing. Just sitting next to me being like... And I'm just sitting there like, okay, somebody did something. I don't know what just happened, but I don't think that was good. So right when I didn't think it could get any worse, it could get any more uncomfortable between the two of us, this fucking white dude comes on who evidently discovered Elvis. And he's like 190 years old, and he comes out, starts talking. He's just like, well, basically, I was looking for a white boy that could take the down and dirty, nasty blues and combine it with the pristine, angelic sounds of bluegrass. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was subtly putting black shit down here while he was propping up the white shit. You know, the down and dirty, daddy not sticking around, drug-infested neighborhood blues with the Jesus as white as me, hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right? So at this point, my wife has like fucking steam coming out of her ears. So I make a judgment call. I just fucking shut it off, right? And she looks at me, she's like, why did you shut that off? Why did you shut it off? I was like, because you're about 3 minutes away from yelling at me like I produced this music. All right? Let's just forget it. We'll watch something else. She's like, no, why can't we just watch the rest of this and then discuss it afterwards? It's like, I don't fucking do that. I just want to watch a documentary. I don't want to have a fucking lecture because of these fucking assholes. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting here watching TV. And not to mention, we're just going to get into an argument. She's like, well, why would we get into an argument? I'm like, ugh. All right, you know why? Because not for nothing, there was some black people in there saying some shit that I didn't agree with, you know? I'm not huffing and puffing. Yeah, I said that. Like a fucking idiot. And she just looks at me, she's like what black people? Like what black people that said what? And at that point, it's like you started the luge, right? You can't get off the fucking sled. Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, fuck, here we go. Guess we're having this. And I'm like, all right, the black guy who brought up leg shaking, saying Elvis took leg shaking from us. It's like, really? Leg shaking? No, nobody thought to fucking do this? Black people came up with that? You telling me that? I'll even give you that. Let's say you came up with that, but where did that black dude learn how to do it? Didn't he watch some older black guy do it? But what, because he's the same color? He's not stealing, he's just carrying on the tradition. But if Elvis does it, oh, what the fuck? Now he's the biggest thief ever? That doesn't make any sense to me. She goes, no, you idiot. It's not about the leg shaking, okay? It's about, he appropriated a culture. He took all the music, he got all the money, got all the fame. He's called the king of it now, and he never gave a shit, not even a shout out. And I was like, all right. You know, fair enough. You made about 7 or 8 good points there that I can't refute. He appropriated a culture. I get it. You're right. She goes, fine, thank you. And I go, however, not for nothing, do I get mad at you when you get on a skateboard, you start going down the fucking street? Do I get all offended like, hey man, that's some white shit. Stop appropriating my culture, man. Some dirty white kid in Santa Monica came up with that, man. So she starts laughing. And I should have stopped there, but I'm a comedian, right? I'm like, oh, I'm getting a laugh. There's got to be a bigger laugh, so keep going, Bill. Let's come with another example. So I'm like, yeah, do I get mad at you when you fly from LA to New York in under 6 hours? And she just, yeah. And she just stares at me. She's just like, that was fucked up. Paying attention.
So I've been seeing this girl recently, this black girl, right? She lives up in Harlem, you know, gone out like 3-4 times, you know. First time we hung out in like the Village area in New York, you know, which is sort of like a racially mixed area. So shit was cool, you know what I mean? Second time we hung out was more like Midtown, you know, Then the third time, she called me at like 3:30 in the morning, and she wanted me to come up to her apartment, right? So it's 3:30 in the morning, she lives in Harlem, I look how I look, so it's a fucking situation. Yeah, because you know the deal, right? Basically, a white dude feels comfortable up to about like 98th, 99th Street, you know what I'm saying? The second the streets start getting into like triple digits, like 100, 101st Street, start getting like a little asthma, like, oh, fuck, it's starting to get a little high up here. You feel that little tightness in your chest? Can you feel that? 106th Street, you're like leaning on shit, like, dude, where'd all the cabs go? How come there's no taxis up here? Dude, what's a bodega? I don't know what that is. Let's get the fuck out of here. So I'm praying to God she's going to tell me to take the subway, get off at like 105th Street, 103rd, you know, which is like the first stop in Harlem where I can still look over my shoulder and see like all the white people like disappearing over the horizon, you know? But she goes, no, man, you want to get on the Uptown 2-3 train, you want to get off at 125th Street. I'm like, God, fuck, 125th Street. Jesus Christ, that's like right in the middle of everything. I'm going to be surrounded on all four sides. I can't fucking do this. So, at this point, I'm really trying to hide like the bitchy tone that's starting to creep into my voice, you know? And I'm trying to ask for really specific directions for when I get up there, because I want to know exactly where I'm going. So she starts naming the streets I have to go down, and every other street up there is named after like a black leader, you know? She's like, make a left on Adam Clayton, take a right on Frederick Douglass. I'm like, God, fuck Adam Clayton. Yo, dude, go on the internet, look up Adam Clayton. Did he kill a bunch of white people during the slave revolt? Dude, I ain't going up there till I know what Adam Clayton did. Fuck this shit. So at this point, I'm really having a battle with myself. Because I'm thinking I can't do this, right? I'm like, I can't do this, but my dick's going, no, come on, man, we can do this, all right? Just relax. Pull yourself together and get on the goddamn train, right? So as always, I listen to my dick. Oh yeah, I get on the train. By the time I get up there, it's like 5 or 4 in the morning, right? I'm staying on like Malcolm X and like Danny Glover or some shit, right? I don't even know where the hell I'm at. But I see the street I want to go up. I want to go up St. Nick. I can literally see her apartment building, but there's like 5 or 6 black dudes standing right on the corner, right where I want to walk by. So I'm like, fuck! I felt like I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking, I got to walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And I was really, really scared, you know, but I'm also really, really white, you know? Like shockingly Caucasian. You know what I mean? Like if you're not ready for me, I can like surprise you. No, especially if you live up there. You've probably seen a white person for hours, possibly days. So when I show up, it's almost like magical. Like a leprechaun came out of nowhere, you know? Felt like I should have like a little pot of gold. Like a rainbow behind me. Top of the morning to you, latte. Kind of dance my way past them. But it's been going all right, you know? Once I get in her apartment, I'm fine, you know? I relax, sit down, you know, watch a hip-hop countdown. Pretend like I know the groups, you know what I mean? It's just getting there that's a fucking pain in the ass. But, you know, I don't get mad at it, because I figure, you know, black dudes got to go through the same shit, though, right? When you go out to the suburbs, go fuck a white girl, right? Just that same awful feeling of just leaving your people behind, you know, just less and less of you as you're fucking driving out there. Probably start off lean and you're all fucking cool. 20 minutes in, you're driving like 10 and 2, the radio's off. Like, dude, I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit at all. There's too much grass, I don't see any rims. This is fucked up. None of the windows are tinted. I can clearly see white people in every car. This is fucked up. Listen, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Well, while we're on that subject, Bill, excluding yourself, greatest 5 stand-ups of all time for you?
It's funny you said excluding yourself. Whenever I watch rappers, they always go like, "Someone's me."
I thought I'd make it easier for you. Just get yourself out of that.
It's so fucking funny. It's like nauseating, the narcissism, and then there's something about the honesty of that I love. Well, I'm obviously fucking amazing.
But you know, when Kanye does it, you go, yeah, that's fair. You could, that's legitimate to put yourself in the top 5, and he definitely would.
Yeah, and there's something about it's fun.
Yeah,
it's fun to listen to somebody talking shit about themselves. Top, what do you say? Top 5?
Top 5 all time.
Okay, Pryor, Carlin, Joan Rivers. This is where it gets hard. Like, who am I going to put in? Like, I just love so many people. These are just influential people for me. Cheech and Chong,
go one more.
Sam Kinison. I'm not going one more. I got
He's going to give us the top 50.
Yeah. I only don't throw Patrice in there just because I knew that idiot. And it would bug him. Yeah. It would bug him if he heard me and if I put him in or if I didn't. But, Mitch Hedberg, Doug Stanhope, Joe Rogan. And this is why I hate doing this. Mike Epps. I know I'm going to forget somebody.
Chappelle?
Oh, obviously, Jesus Christ.
I'd love if you said, nah, not him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's hard to do people that are doing it right now because you're making me look back.
Yeah.
Obviously him. Jesus Christ. Me doing that is literally like when the guy wins the Oscar and he forgets to thank his wife or his mother. The fuck did I forget, Dave?
Yeah.
There was a few guys that I saw that were like no-brainers. Dane was one. Like the shit that he gets through, the level that guy was killing. Dude, he put the fear in God in guys that have been doing it for 20 years. We used to do Dick Doherty, rest his soul, his comedy clubs and all, like, Drake it, Mass and all these places. And Dane would have the headliner like pacing in the back.
Damn.
He was killing that hard, and he would be like, I shouldn't have to follow that. There's no, and my favorite thing, there's no jokes here. It's like, well, listen to the crowd. There's something going on here.
Right,
and like, he doesn't get credit. He kind of came up with like a new genre sort of style, like of it. And, it's just it's a weird fucking business, man.
It is. Some people, it's like the Bo Burnham thing. Some people figure out, not only did he figure out a new way of doing comedy, he did the MySpace shit too. I mean, he was so ahead of it.
That guy is a total fucking trailblazer. What I love is all the shit he got in the beginning. He just shut everybody down, and he totally delivers. And then in the end, you find out this guy's a monster fucking talent.
Oh yeah,
that can kind of do everything.
Yeah,
in front and behind. That he made some other movie. I forget the name of it years ago, about like teenage kids in your first date.
8th grade.
Oh my God, it was a fucking.
I never saw it.
It was a great movie.
Yeah,
great fucking movie. It just totally put you back into like your first crushes and the dumb shit. Like he had the kid has like a date. He's like trying to comb his hair and the dumb shit that you did when you were a kid. And I saw that with my wife, and we were like that. And I just remember thinking like that's his first. I think that was his first movie.
Yeah,
and it was like, I mean, this is incredible.
He's a talent.
He's a talented son of a bitch.
It's interesting. People never say Kinison. I think people have forgotten Kinison. Chris Rock said Kinison was a lost.
Yeah, what about Rock? What about Rock?
Yeah,
well, some of those guys, it's like you don't need to say it because they're like all. I got to throw somebody in there that. Fucking Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
dude, Jim Carrey being Tony Clifton, reenacting the Kennedy assassination is one of the greatest pieces of physical comedy you're ever gonna fucking watch.
Quick impression, Johnson County. Christ.
It's unfucking believable. And I got a chance when I did SNL to talk to him about it. I go, "Did you work that out?" He goes, "Nah, he just saw the car and he got in and did it." And it's just like, that's just thing. Just like, fuck, I gotta work hard. Yeah. So there you go. We did it. We talked fucking world politics right down. I know there's other people. George Gobel I liked. Gonna go back to the old school guys. George Gobel.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh my God, Rodney! Come on.
Yeah, so good.
There's too many of them.
There you go. Bill's favorite 5 stand-ups.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
I'm glad you brought him up.
I mean, look,
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Dave Attell.
Oh,
David
David
Attell
Attell
is brilliant.
He's fucking brilliant.
You almost have to be just like, you got to do like, all right, your favorite comedians in New York City during this period. Because being then, it would have been Chappelle, Attell, Louis C.K.
Fitzsimmons is such a... so he came right before you from Boston?
Yeah, he was... as far as in Boston, there was that group of comics was... there was Rogan, Greg Fitzsimmons...
Dane?
No, Dane was... Dane actually started right out of high school, so he started in 90. I thought he started in 91, but like Dane was more my generation. And who else was up there? Like Jim Loletta, Todd Parker, fucking Robbie Prince, all of that. Those are like, you know, all of that crew. And then after that, it was I came up with like Bobby, Dane, Patrice, Gary Gulman came like right after that, Orny. And there was a great.
That's a crazy class.
Yeah, it was great. And then when we moved, and then Jersey had like Florentine and Norton and all that, and then we all just sort of came into New York at the same time, and and then all of that shit happened.
Yeah, the Patrice doc has little snippets. Thank God somebody was rolling a camera back then. There's a scene where you guys are all hanging on the sidewalk, and then Rich Voss walks up and goes, "What is this, a couple of middles?" 0 laugh, a pause, and then everybody laughed at him. How bad that bombed. And I was like, oh, that's such a great little moment that I don't feel like we have anymore.
Were fucking brutal to each other. It was so stupid. When I look back now, I mean, it's funny, but it was so stupid. We didn't write one script, one sketch. All we did was try to destroy each other's confidence. It was just such like, yeah, it was like a bunch of abused like rescue dogs all put in the same, with like one pork chop there. It was just fucking... Yeah, dude, I used to fucking have anxiety going down in the cellar, and I was just thinking of everybody. I would think like 3 fucking insults for every, just to kind of get, I was like, okay, if it comes at me, I'm going to get it off me, and I'll send it this way, and, you know, but what if Bobby's not there? Bobby's not there, I can't use that. It's like, you know, and you couldn't look at the lineup. Like
right.
You can, so you had no idea it was going to be down there.
And then the worst is when you say one and they're like, "You prepared that." I did. I thought I was going to be smarter. Shit.
We missed that. We really missed out on that. Like I guess when I first got in, I remember Colin Quinn and Keith like beating up on me when I was like brand new, and I was like, "This is amazing. This is it," you know. But my first.
And somehow it became like toxic.
I know.
This is bad, and then like you go in there now, and it's just like, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, I'm not going to romanticize like it was all, because I was comics going to me like, why do you sit down there? Just go down and do your spot. And if I was a healthier person, I would have been like, this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying this. Like, I'd like to come down here and feel good about myself, not feel worse. Oh my God, the amount of shirts I could never wear again.
Right.
It was just like, I remember one time. I think it was Keith. Keith was getting so trashed for what he had on. He just stood up in the middle of the pounding and just ran out. And I remember, you can't fucking, you can do that? I didn't know you could leave. I thought you could just sit here until it was over. You know, because so many people like pretend that they don't give a fuck. You know, both in my business and in other businesses. You got I don't give a fuck. Hey, you know me. I don't give a fuck. You know, those people that advertise them. Like, that guy clearly, in the best way, didn't give a fuck. He really cared about people and stuff, but like he did what he wanted to do. And when he was on SNL, how big a gig that was, because there was so few channels, the internet hadn't blown up yet, and even with basic cable and everything, I mean, it was still, if you were on Saturday Night Live and you were doing Weekend Update, it was one of the most coveted gigs a comedian could have, and you were part of this lineage of, you know, at that point it was, you know, Chevy Chase, Jane Curtin, right on through to Dennis Miller's reign when he did it, and, you know, did Colin Quinn come after? I think Colin came after, but it was always just like the best of the best comics that they had doing it, and continued on with Tina Fey and all of them. And no one's walking away from that job. And if some suit at NBC tells you they don't like the jokes you're doing and be funnier. You know, you're shaking in your. I'd be like, oh fuck, you know, I'm going to lose this big gig. I don't want to get fired. I don't want to piss these people off or whatever. I guess he was doing all those OJ jokes, and somebody, I forget how the story went. There was somebody there that knew OJ or something and was telling Norm to back off and move on to something else. So what does Norm do? He just doubles down and he just does even more OJ jokes, which is like, you know, the balls that took to do that. And he ended up losing the gig. He got fired. And people loved him and he was fucking hilarious, but he, you know, he didn't back down to the big fucking guy over there, and he ended up losing the gig. So, you know, as luck would have it, I think it was Dirty Work, came out like a year and a half later or so. So he has to promote it, and he's on the press thing. So Lauren has him back and has him host the show. And I remember he went out there, and his opening joke, he just comes out. And he was just like, something like this. Yeah, it's good to be back. You know, I actually got fired from this show about a year and a half ago because they said I wasn't funny. And now here I am. I'm hosting the show. So that means one of two things. Either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks.